do it over here. Can I do it at the envelope down? You don't want to all those? You don't put your papers there, in that envelope over there, and talk about the sidewalk. You find total is, I got a ticket from fire stop and got up my office, so it's late. Try calling them.
Steve B. Dixon at Ritzville, that's 210 West Broadway. Mr. Kerry L. Young, former prosecutor for Washington Coroner's Office and Benton County Justice Department. Mr. Norwick and Mr. Hatcher for the consideration for the murder case debut for Mr. and Mrs. Andy Miller and his campaign services for onboarding and subordinating individuals incorporated with the murder case and plot at Mueller's Funeral Home, J. Mueller's Funeral Home. Mr. Coroner Administration Office, he's at the corners of 712-110, which is the second location, which is Gage Boulevard, Social Security Office, Gage Boulevard, murder case there. Murder case at Gage Boulevard in Richland. Here at the Social Security Office, murder case at the Social Security Office, other Social Security Office. Now, so much murder cases, now they moved it to 8131 Climb, Cincinnati, which is Kerry L. Rung, former prosecutor. And that's Andy Miller, 509-735-3591. And then also the Cahoots and Services for their debut services for the dead state patrolman at Apartment 205, Psych 2 Apartments, for the murder case and police services increments for service increments for the Foley Lola Hernandez death certificate that's in Andy Miller's office, and also Roberta Barela's death certificates in Andy Miller's office, and the birth certificate that comes from here. Steve B. Dixon is Miller prosecutor is no more longer, so B. Dixon's supported in his notations. Since there's zero bounds to anything, this guy sits here with a gavel and robe and tells people what to do, but we'll stay in his residence for a whole week until everybody's arrested and detained. And in such a way of matter, we'll set the cremant at Mueller's Funeral and look around for the individual that inserts the people in the cremant day and night. As you can see, Mr. Honorable Steve Dixon and also Mr. Alex Exerman, Carmen Mitchell, Carrie L. Rowe, Jacqueline Shee Brown, and Bruce Spanner and Samuel B. Swanberg, and ANCRES for his testimony for suspending Mr. Hatcher for 13 years as an agency sheriff. And Mrs. Lola Hernandez talking to the individual Felix Barela and also the increments of the IV needles and also the drip line IVs and also the upper lab care system, which is at Sandy Strawn's office in the flower bed, embedded in the Jackson Bar administration office, because of the increments on the world championships for the competitions and world records have been broken and shattered. The 50-yard dash, the 40-yard dash, and also the mile been broken and shattered year after year after year after year. Now, Mr. Carrie L. Rung puts her support increments as Mr. Clint Didier, an individual at the Franklin County Courthouse, introducing Carrie L. Rung and also the Benton County Justice Department. She's a former prosecutor, now a judge. Now, Mrs. Andy Miller, Miss Andy Miller, moved in their services at the University of Washington State on Pike, which is University of Washington. University of Washington has increments on the baseball mound. There's a baseball mound, a soccer mound. There's a Gonzaga University. There's a Florence, Florence, Arizona. That's Florence, Arizona. Florence, Italy, Gonzaga, and Gonzaga University. We have the baseball mound. It was mounted by Torbo Gill, G6, which is parked in Andy Miller's parking spot, among all the judges and chief justice departments and also their services increments of the Home Depot, the whole entire Harley Davidson shop in Home Depot, and also the Gonzaga University increments, and also the Amarillo, and the contract that's embedded onto the door frames. And the incorporates here at 7112 Wacono with expansion here. Mr. Donald Trump's making out with Melania Trump inside the limousine at Spokane, Washington. I'm drinking a Pepsi, and I'm outside on the trunk moderating my individual services because of the dog compound facility they have. There is a electric of this utility shutdown, and until he shut down Mr. Donald Trump's got it nice and cushy. He sits in a limo and he sits in his president's suites, and he's going through a divorce for $2 billion. And that $2 billion is Felix Barela sitting there in the back of the trunk with a Pepsi. So, I don't drink or do drugs, and Mr. Donald Trump, and I'm pointing out Carrie Rung, and I'm pointing out Andy Miller walking. See, she's talking to criminals in Spokane, downtown Riverside. And that's not legal. Talk to any kind of criminal, or any kind of criminal activities or infusions activities. Mr. Donald Trump is starting to realize that the sickness of the word crime campaign, Yakima, Washington, USS Chicago, and also the Saratoga. The whole beautiful Saratoga, the billions of arsenal compound weaponry that was transported and imported 7 days a week, and supplying fuel by, of course, air support. That's 7 days a week. Fuel, jets, warhogs, aviators, F-18s, warhogs, stealth bombers, whatever. And the judges, the Superior Courts, she seems like she's trying to get involved in people's business when Donald Trump's straight up calling her out on her criminal activity and affidavits and their wannabes, individuals coming to chow, people coming in the administration, the doorway, entranceway, rolling up on their, of course, a wheelchair, or rolling up on a walker or a scooter or a cane that belonged to Lola Hernandez and Roberta Barela and increments, and they didn't pay nothing for anything of the increments for the cremation, the urns, Mueller's funeral, Mueller's cemetery, Mueller's caskets, and also don't forget, they look alike. They look exactly like twins, Mueller and Mueller. You can't miss them. They're identical. By switch, she says Felix Barela as Mueller and Mueller. They're identical. They look like twins. They look like they look like the Three Stooges, actually. Mr. Andy Miller comes upstairs and he says they look like the Three Stooges. The three blind mice, pretty much. And then we got an increment lady. She comes on the payments of services and she goes, there's a chastity that's been upheld, and it's in her face. And you know how I present evidence or a dead body or crematory or essence of a maggot or a fly or implements of the services that they apply here at the Andy Miller's office, which is 7 days a week, pretty much. It's nothing. It's nothing shocking to Mr. Andy Miller in any way, shape, or form of his professionalism, upholding his chastity. A reminder of him looking up and seeing the eyeballs and the chastity of Mr. Felix Barela, his right hand, his left hand, his eyeballs. Shocking. If he has a stroke or heart attack and forgets his immediate family members, he looks up, he sees Felix Barela, and he remembers everything. It flashes back. He's not crawling again. He's jumping up into a jet, flying with the Blue Angels and jumping off a C-17 and shaking Mr. Donald Trump's hand and appreciating the COVID-19, Mr. James like DOL. They're silencing in the increments of their justification of their hard-working money dollar, tax dollars. Of who raised that guy? Who raised that? There's a child, a sibling at your right there. Where'd that thing come from? I mean, who raised that thing? Who taught all that? The knowledge of there's a sad, when you have a stroke, you see the sacking of the eyes, the perimeter of the eyeball sucking in, and also the wrinkles on the increments of the left and right of the forehead, and the harder, the blood pathogens of it. You gotta watch out for these outlooks, for these symptoms of COVID-19. Serious matter.